We got some new news from Variety about the Telltale Games studio, which is kinda reshaping itself. Alerted by the partnership between Telltale Games and Netflix, which will lead to the development of a Stranger Things game, the site Variety offers us a new light on the recent evolution of the studio, specialized in the narrative video game, and on the troubles which have tightened their belts dramatically. Their internal problems of Telltale Games, which caused this dismissal of 90 people last year, were not limited to an aging engine. Former founder and president of the studio until the beginning of 2017, Kevin Brunner, is in the spotlight for his suffocating work methods, his culture of crunch, or his lack of vision, highlighted last November at US Gamer. Then in another presentation in March, signed The Verge. Today, and after being outed from the board of directors, Kevin Brunner sues the studio he co-founded in 2004 for breach of contract, but all sources agree that this departure was an absolute necessity to put Telltale back on track. What Variety is revealing today is that the partnership between Telltale Games and Netflix should have happened much sooner, by mid-2016. Many of the studio's employees are turning their attention to Stranger Things, burgeoning success, believing that the series' nostalgic atmosphere would be an ideal Telltale game. However, this is not the opinion of Kevin Brunner and his associates, who show no interest in this band of kids with bicycles, reports a source. We have to wait for the change of direction that took place in September 2017 so that the discussions between Telltale and Netflix will start. For both the realization of a Stranger Things game and for the transposition of Minecraft story mode in the form of an interesting soap opera on the streaming platform. According to Variety sources, the fall of Telltale would have started earlier than we think. Season 2 of The Walking Dead, released in December 2013, can be considered as the last big success. Embarked on an absurd pace of development and stuck with an anachronist motor, Telltale's tired its own employees as much as the players. His most recent productions, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, The Guardians of the Galaxy, and Batman: The Enemy Within, would be among the worst performances in the history of the studio, even counting the modest pre-Walking Dead era. Against all odds, it's a fact of having released the 7 Days to Die survival game that would have kept the Telltale Games afloat in recent years. Several sources suggest that this open world game, abandoned for a long time by its developers, would have been the largest source of income for the Telltale since season 1 of The Walking Dead, which is supernatural as it's vexing. In the light of the good news for the future, it is now certain that the much degraded Telltale tool engine will live its last days and will be replaced by the Unity engine, whose CEO John Riccitiello sits on the board of the directors of Telltale Games, according to Variety sources. The final season of The Walking Dead will be the last to use this engine, and the Stranger Things, the first Telltale game designed with Unity. The article admits, however, the case of The Wolf Among Us Season 2 recently postponed to next year, if not to confirm that Telltale has indeed fallen behind on these promises made to big fans. So for me, I'm a big narrative game fan, and Telltale has been a great publisher for these games, but in the recent years their games has more become kinda narrative movies. The older ones were for me were more like pointed clickers with narrative futures, but the ones who came out in recent years were more narrative movies where you had just quick time events where the changes, where the choices you made had no great impact in the story itself. And yeah, so we will have to wait in the future for the season 3 of the last season of The Walking Dead and the new Stranger Things game to see what the future of Telltale Games will be. As always, guys, put in the comments what you think about it. If you like Telltale Games, if you like the narrative genre, or if you don't like it at all, and what you think what Telltale Games need, or what games you would like that Telltale would like to make. And subscribe to my channels for more news and reviews and reactions. Revan out.